ones. Start there, please. Dan, start, please.
Hi, Ange. Straight up, is it kind of fair to say that the hopes of sort of salvaging the season come down to progressing tomorrow night? And secondly, what's your message been to the players in the build-up to the game? What have you kind of reiterated to them in meetings in the last few days?
Yeah, I don't see it as salvaging a season. I see it as an opportunity to do something special. So it depends on your sort of outlook on, maybe your outlook on life, mate. I don't know. So, I think you're at a point where, you've got an opportunity to get to a semi-final of a major competition. Obviously the challenges before you. So I think that's the bit you're excited about. I don't think it's about, trying to salvage anything. It's about, these opportunities don't come around often. Even if you're having a very good season, sometimes they don't come around, so why not take it? And that's kind of been the message to the players as well. It's just, irrespective of everything else that's happened this year, we're a game away from the Final Four in a major competition, and you shouldn't sort of just take that for granted in terms of something that's a regular occurrence. Certainly hasn't been for this club, so try and take advantage of that.
Hi there, Ange. Just to check, has everyone travelled? Are you expected to travel, and is Sonny fully fit to play?
No, Sonny didn't travel in the end. He's the only one that misses out. He's been battling with his foot sort of problem for a few weeks now, and he's managed through it, but it's just got too painful over the last few days. He tried to train yesterday and just wasn't right, so we made a decision to leave him at home and allow him to sort of recuperate and see the best way for recovery for him. Everyone else is good. I guess the only notable addition is Kevin, who trained and is available as well. So really it's only Sonny that misses out.
And on that, I mean, Sonny's your captain. He's a massively influential part of the dressing room in what is probably the biggest game of the season. I mean, what a blow is that to not have him with you?
Yeah, look, it's a blow, but it's consistent with everything else that's happened this year. So it's just another challenge for us to overcome. Unfortunate for him. He tried really hard. Like I said, the reason we left him out on the weekend was to try and give him time to recover, because he's been sort of struggling with his foot thing for a couple of weeks now. So, but in the end, he couldn't make it, and we've just got to sort of, as I said, we've had these challenges all year. It's just another one we just need to overcome.
Same again, please. And I mean, everyone's been talking this week ahead of this game. Everyone's been talking about your future and what happens with this particular game. I remember when Harry Kane left. After he left, you said that you knew all along what was going to happen with him. Do you know what's going to happen with you this season, whatever happens at this stage?
Do I know?
Yeah.
No, I've got no idea. I know. Like I said, we've got a game tomorrow night. That's, but it's not something I need to think about. I don't think. Well, yeah, I know. I mean, it's not something that's kind of. I've never thought about those kind of things in terms of what's important. What's important is, like I said, a game tomorrow night. That's a massive opportunity for this group of players, for us as a team, and for this football club to to get closer to achieving what everyone wants to achieve. So I think anything else other than that, and particularly in terms of me, I don't really have much of a sort of thought process that thinks about life or my career or what I'm doing in that way. What I do know is, like I said, got an opportunity to get to Final Four of a major tournament, and that's where my focus is.
Jay.
Hi, Ange. Dom Solanke's not scored in his last 11 games. I just wondered if you knew what the reasons were maybe behind that.
No, Dom's working really hard for the team, and he's going to be important for us tomorrow night, and really looking forward to his contribution.
Sammy.
And does the narrative, I guess, over your future or position, is it a personal burden for you away from the training field? Do you feel it?
No, not at all, mate. Because I don't define my career or me as a person by what people think about me. I never have, never will. If you don't think I'm a good coach today, you won't think I'm a good coach tomorrow, even if we win, mate. One game ain't going to make a difference to that. You either think I'm capable of doing a job now, you don't. That's where I sit with these things. And if people think that us winning tomorrow all of a sudden makes me a better manager than what I am today, or us losing tomorrow sometimes makes me a worse manager, I guess that's their burden, not mine. Because I just don't think that way, and I don't think most people think that way in terms of, well, I'd like to think they don't in terms of their own sort of self-esteem and who they are as people. So I couldn't care less, mate. Really couldn't care less. There's no burden on me. There's no anxiety on me. Like I said, what I'm sitting here doing is thinking that, we've got a great opportunity tomorrow night to get to the Final Four of a major tournament. Mate, I'm not going to let that slip by without fighting tooth and nail for it, irrespective of what may come the day after.
Hello, Ange. Can you talk a bit about how it feels to have everybody back? We seem to have waited ages for it. And I know you're missing Sonny, which is a shame, but is Decky ready to start? And what's it all mean?
Oh, it's massively positive because you realise, when you've got everyone together that, we've got a really sort of exciting young squad that I think you can build on, and irrespective of how the game goes, we have the opportunity to make impacts with substitutions and just the general feeling of around the place. Because the other thing it does is that, like I said, apart from Sonny, obviously it's really disappointing. Everyone's up and about. All the players are excited. All the players are looking forward to it. We've had a lot of players who this year have had to train on their own. They've had to sort of deal with the mental grind of trying to get themselves back in amongst the group. And, that sort of affects, the general sort of feeling around the place because invariably, there isn't this overwhelming feeling of everyone being in it together because players have got their own individual battles to overcome. We've had more kind of doing that than we have sort of as a core of a group to sort of solidify those kind of things you need to in terms of team spirit and all those kind of things. So just having the whole group together, the dynamics in the dressing room, dynamics of training, even the dynamics when you travel, everyone's, for the most part, their best buddy is with them. They're not back at home. So all those kind of things, it's a good feeling. And, you kind of miss it when we've had the season we've had. Yeah.
Can I add one? And in terms of coming to somewhere that's notoriously difficult, a little bit hostile, tense at the end of a knockout competition, important to have your experienced players back, your most senior.
Yeah, I think so. I think, especially playing away in Europe, it's always a challenge. I think the experiences we've had this year have been good for that. We've visited some tough places in terms of atmospheres this year, in terms of, whether that's Galatasaray away or Ibrox or, AZ. And a lot of sort of our younger players got exposed to that, which I think will be helpful. But there's no doubt that, come tomorrow, the experienced guys in the squad who've probably been through something similar are going to be hugely important for us. And like I said, having them, the key ones apart from Sonny, all fit and available and feeling good in terms of physical conditioning, I think is going to be important.
The final one here, please.
Hi, Ange. Just to follow up on that, I was just wondering on Vicario and Romero. Obviously, had a bit of a difficult afternoon at Molineux on Sunday. Have you need to put an arm around them? You mentioned about having your experienced players in an atmosphere like that. How are they feeling mentally after a tough afternoon? Yeah,
it was a tough afternoon, and I think they were disappointed. But the thing about both of them is they don't shy away from that responsibility. They owned up to it. They knew the mistakes were on them. But I think once we reviewed it and put it to bed, they were they trained the next day with the mentality that you expect them to as leaders and experienced players. And I guess if they were going to sort of make errors like that, it's better they made them on Sunday than they do tomorrow night. It's better they make them at all. But, you know, that's the human beings. These things happen. But, look, both have got a really good mentality. They're both strong leaders. They're both strong individuals. Like I said, they weren't hiding away from the fact that, you know, they made those mistakes. They owned up to them, which is no surprise to me. And, you know, I think they'll go out tomorrow night without not thinking about that, but, again, thinking about the opportunity before us.
Okay, thank you.